Namaste, friends. So, once again, the Indian lockdown gets extended. I'm starting to feel like we can seriously say bye-bye 2020. Wow, never thought that I'd say that. I had high hopes for this year. Anyways, if you are new to my channel, you might not know this yet, but let me just clarify my background a little bit. So I am married to an Indian man, and we just recently, just a couple of months ago actually, moved to Kerala, and we were planning on making this our official home and for me to actually permanently move here, because at this moment I am still not a resident of India, but my permanent address and my residency is still in Finland, my native country. Anyways, I made earlier a vlog about the reasons why I chose to stay here in India, even though my country Finland strongly recommends for its citizens to return back to Finland for the corona crisis. So you can check that vlog, but I wanted to clarify specifically a few points that were brought up in the comments there. So firstly, the claim that I am staying in India because it's cheap to live here. Obviously, I realize the privileged position that I am in, and by no means I don't suffer the same financial burden as many Indian people do, but I'm not staying here because it's cheap. I have obviously my husband and multiple other factors. We're building a life here, but hey, I'm not allowed to work here in India either, so I do not have this income that I can live off with here. So I have my savings from Finland, and now I don't even get to go back there for a summer work. So yeah, I'm not staying here because it's cheap, but it definitely does make my situation a little bit easier. Another point that was made was that I'm taking a hospital bed from an Indian person, which makes me feel really bad when I'm reading something like that. It does make me feel very privileged and gives me a lot of this first world white person guilt. But I don't think that this is exactly true, that I'm just taking an Indian person's hospital bed and leaving a bed empty in Finland, because I'm not a traveler or a tourist here exactly, even though I am still on a tourist visa, but I am married to an Indian man, and as his wife, I do feel that I deserve that as much as any Indian woman would in my position. And even if I was a traveler, should it be that I'm declined a healthcare system here? If I was even traveling for a week and I met with an accident or actually did contract COVID-19, should I be refused the care for that? Absolutely no, and that is seriously quite offensive and against I think human rights or something like that to claim such a thing. And there are far more many Indian people stranded in foreign lands than there are, for example, European people here in India. So should they be said that, oh no, you go back to your own country for healthcare and the foreign countries just refuse to take care of them? I don't think there is such policy in any country, and that would be just I could not fathom something like that happening. And anyways, it would actually pose a greater risk for the average Indian person if I started moving around the country trying to evacuate for my own native Finland, instead of staying put inside my house where I have absolutely no social contact whatsoever with the people here. And then there was one more point that was made in the comments, and that is that Finland would be doing better than India in handling this COVID crisis, which is just not true. Even just if you look at the per capita numbers of the infections, Finland is doing much worse than India at this point. Obviously, relatively, there are if you just look at the absolute infection number, the number is bigger for India, but India is a by far bigger country. So in comparison to that, Finland is doing much worse, and they have not even imposed any strict measures to tackle this crisis, and they are actually already starting to take off any restrictions that there even have been. So I would not be feeling very safe going back to Finland, even though, yes, healthcare in Finland is good, so maybe that won't go into a crisis as quickly, but I do not want to take a risk of getting the infection anyways. Sorry guys, we just got a power cut, and it being the peak of summer, I just really needed to change my clothes and my filming location because I am not able to survive this heat without sweating like liters and liters. Anyways, where was I at? Oh yes, so the lockdown continues, and now the country has been divided into districts that are either red, orange or green zone. And you know my luck, I'm on the red zone here in Kannur district in Kerala, which is one of the only 2 districts in Kerala that are actually red. Wow, talk about luck. Anyways, I don't see any significant changes even now in our normal life, even during the lockdown, and I'm doing my best to stay in this positive mood, which I've been talking about my mental health vlogs concerning this coronavirus crisis. But let's just say that I might be starting to get a little bit cranky in the coming days, because just a few days ago our AC did actually finally break down, and now I'm concerned because the lockdown got extended. So are we able to get a new machine? Yeah, that is very concerning, because I realized that having an AC machine is kind of a luxury item in India, but please do acknowledge the fact that I'm from a cold country. I'm not built for this heat, especially the peak of summer down here in the south, which is my first Kerala summer, and I just really hope that we're able to get a new AC machine here as soon as possible, even during lockdown. And of course, this brings some other worries into my mind too. I'm starting to worry about my own visa situation, because I'm supposed to get a spousal visa, and am I supposed to leave the country when the lockdown ends, or I have no idea what's going on with the visa process, and this just brings a lot of uncertainty in our lives, and obviously we're not able to plan anything because I don't know when the lockdown is going to end. I don't have any idea about the flight situations, and oh my god, if I do have to leave the country, the flights will be so freaking expensive, and I'm not sure if I have the money for that kind of an extravagant luxury. And just in general, obviously, there is a lot of uncertainty, not in just my life, but everyone's lives, because we can't make any plans really. So it's just day by day, just waiting for any clarifications for the future. Everything seems to be at a halt now, except me being productive with making my vlogs. And then I've also been hearing some speculation that it might not just be 2 weeks extensions, 2 weeks again, and just this temporary thing, but that especially once the government starts evacuating NRIs from the foreign countries and repatriating them back to India soon, that once these certain districts, especially here in Kannur, start getting a lot of NRIs, especially from Gulf countries back here, then there will again be a total lockdown, maybe even for several months, and I should not be listening to speculations, and I should really start to keep my positive outlook, but it is starting to get a bit more challenging at this point, because of course it is also difficult for travelers or tourists being stuck in whatever countries they are in, because not many have their own homes. For example, yes, I have my own home here, and there are a lot of tourists also in India who have their rentals, who are in a lucky, privileged position, but then there are also so many tourists who have been staying in hotels and hostels for so many weeks and just have to keep paying for this endless vacation, and obviously you would start running out of money. And there was just recently a report about these tourists in Rishikesh being thrown out of their hostel because they ran out of money and weren't able to pay their bill at the hostel, and then they had actually vacated into caves where they were found, and the police arranged some kind of solution for them. But it must be just like horrifying being in a situation like that. And yeah, of course there are like many comments, maybe even on this vlog, if like it's fair to like compare these like privileged rich tourists and travelers and tell about their obstacles when there are, oh my god, so many people dying, and the poor people in the streets and daily wagers and immigrant workers, points that I have already raised up in previous vlogs, and I'm very concerned about their situation, obviously. But the fact that we have these kinds of issues also going on does not negate the fact that there are also many big challenges for those in more privileged situations too. Anyways, I really hope that we are able to maintain an understanding and collective mindset for all of us who are in this coronavirus situation, because this impacts all of us, and obviously some more than the others, but let's just try to understand that we all have issues and challenges, and understand each other, try to help each other. And it is obviously easy to judge at the comfort of your own home that, oh, there she goes again talking about her first world issues, but what does she do for other people? Obviously, there's not that much that I can do since I am isolated in my own home, but I do try to do my best by raising issues and any kind of advice that I can hear in my channel and my other social media and when I talk with other people. And I have also donated money to different kinds of charities, so it's not like we do not care at all about the less privileged people, but there are many challenges for all of us, travelers, higher class Indian people, me, the less privileged people. We might be on different boats, but we are all in the same waters, so let's just try to remain positive, sane, safe, and let's just all stay at home so that we all have a chance to get out of this as quickly as possible, so all of us get to go back to a pretty good normal life. So if you liked this vlog and if you can understand and agree to any points that I made, please do hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel so that you can see all the future content that I have coming up. And it would be also really nice if you can share your comments and opinions about the extension of the lockdown and the current situation in the comments, because I love talking to you guys. And I hope to talk to you more again soon. So bye. Mwah. Stay safe, stay home.